Welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, IWL Commissioner Juan Cena, and with me, as always, IWAR Commissioner Matt Riley. How you doing tonight, Matt?
Oh, dandy.
Dapper dandy.
Dapper dandy.
So, guys, we're going to keep it short and sweet for this cycle, night before gold is due.
This is what we call the "You Still Hitting Refresh Button" podcast.
You know, we had a couple of delays here. I had a temper tantrum. I got a dog, and I got in an accident on the George Washington Bridge. So we had a couple of delays, but we are committed to bring you the very best in IWAR Tubecast action. That being said, we're going to start off with the BRL number 513 league champion winning $50 in IWA credits. Bad Company Rick Challenger.
Woo!
TV champion Sinister Steve Stryker. Atlantic champion the Russian Rocket Alexei Smirnov. Central champion Great David. Dixie champion the Villain Victor Kane. Eastern champion Bad the Boss.
Right.
Mountain champion Shocker Jimmy Electric. Northern champion Bad Company Rick Riley. Pacific champion the Canadian Crusher Jax Molson. Prairie champion Prince Ton. Southern champion Sharpshooter Jake Scarlett. Western champion Siren Demented. Tag team champion the Saskatchewan Sasquatch and Ghostly Shadows. TV tag team champions Jake Scarlett, Alexei Smirnov. Six-man tag team champions Teen Stars Selena Gomez, Selena's entourage Isabella, Selena's entourage Miguel. TV six-man champion the Deviant Eric Rockwell, Liberty Monroe, and the Hellion Roxanne O'Connor. So lots of cool things going on in the Bureau this cycle. We're not going to deep dive in TT because we're sort of under the gun here, and I still have a pay-per-view to format at this point. So, but real quickly, Matt, what's going down in the BRL? Did we have the winners for the Mixed Max Challenge yet?
That's a good question. No, but using the power of live radio, I can tell you that it came down to two teams, which was Bobby Bedlam and Natalie Bowen, and Koenig and the other one.
The other one.
The other one.
All right. So we will have a winner for next cycle, though.
Yes, next cycle the winners of that match. Which, give me 2 seconds. I'm just pulling up my BRL stuff. Which I realized this evening that I had to redo all of my BRL prep work.
Unbelievable.
Yep. If you didn't know, my computer laptop had a severe issue. I got a new one because my other one had a problem.
That's because you had Commodore 64.
Well, VIC 128. But then when I got it, I had this issue with a data recovery program, which I never installed, which wanted all this information. And I'm like, I never used you. And Dell was like, well, if you pay us $130, we'll be happy to fix that for you. I'm like, no, not doing that.
Fuck those guys.
And, yeah, so I did it on my own, and I lost about a month's worth of work. So the bad news was the rankings pages will be next cycle because I'm not doing that in the span of the next 10 hours. But I have to do the Murano results. I have them, and I have to re-put them in. I have to get those matches sent in. It's a bad time all around. Yeah. So right now I'm going to tell you live. Oh, here it is. The final matchup will be Heather and Prince Ton taking on Koenig and Emily Endgame. So that's the finals this cycle for the intergender tournament, and that'll be something we'll probably do every year because next year we're going to hold it in Dubai. I'm going to see how long it takes someone to make sliding Titus O'Neil the next wrestler.
Yes.
Or tripping Titus O'Neil.
He's the new Shockmaster now. That's ridiculous.
It really was pretty impressive.
He's done that before, though.
Has he?
Yeah, there was if you go back and watch one of the early seasons of NXT when it was still a game show, they were doing something where the competitors had to run around the ring with like a keg of beer, and he fell.
Like that?
Like that, yeah. Not underneath the ring, but he still fell.
Yeah.
In the same spot, too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
a new gimmick for him, though.
It is, and hey, man, good for him, I guess, right?
So in terms of a fantastic TT, again, read Mascara Negro stuff. It's fantastic. I love it. No, there's a cool picture of El Barbero and Gato, which is fantastic.
Oh, there's always a good picture of those guys.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's just off the chain.
This picture, let me find it here. Hold on. Of course, I can't find it. That figures.
That's at the end.
I know, but I don't have my stupid BRL crap.
Just look at it in the computer like the rest of us do.
I refuse. Anyway, I'll believe you. So how's that?
It's awesome. It's awesome. So, we're gonna move on from the BRL and we're gonna talk some CWL.
Oh, well, yeah, all right.
So, Matt, we have a new commissioner in the CWL. What is this?
We do.
We do.
Through some backstage finagling, we now have...
Like Paige finagling?
Yeah, finagling. How do you say it? Finagling?
I don't know. I was thinking about like backstage shenanigans where like Bruce, was it Brad Maddox is fucking splooging on the belt.
I don't know if that's how it would, I don't know if that's how the process.
Is that how it worked out?
But yeah. So Scott Anderson, who was a commissioner of the UNL, is now also a commissioner of the CWL. So taking a new direction. And if you haven't seen it yet, he just dropped the first look on the CWL network, so you can check it out now, and it looks pretty good. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see how it plays going forward.
No, Andy did such a great job over the years. It's it's always going to be tough to step in his shoes, but I'm sure Scott Anderson's going to do a fantastic job.
Yes.
So CWL number 215, CWL champion Atticus Poundover. He wins 10 free matches. Network champion Joe Boring, United States champion Koenig. Yukon champion, Great David. Caribbean champion, Pop Culture, Peter Cross. Amazon Basin champion, Milton Smozbuster. British Isles champion, Alex Von Schnapp. Arabian champion, Lubergerus, Lauren Oder. South African champion, Bob Bonecutter. Siberian champion, Dixon Ticonderoga. East Asian champion, Pokemon Snail. Oceanic champion, Toxic. CWL Tag Team champions, Garrett Shadowstar and David Hammerhead. Network Tag Team Champions, James and Billy, the Stone Brothers. CWL Six-Man Champions winning another 5 free matches. Pop Culture, Peter Cross. Bill Bonecutter, Bob Bonecutter. Network Six-Man Champions, Forgotten Vagrant, Wild Card, Garrett Shadowstar. And the Tyrant, David Hammerhead. So CWL, in terms of the TT, really good stuff here. We went over some of it during our last Tubecast with me and Mr. Anderson, but I think overall it's great. My favorites being the Stones. They're my new favorite tag team in the CWL. So
I have a question about that picture of the Stones, though.
Yeah.
They're based off the Briscoe brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is his eye that way all the time, or just do that?
No, he's making a face.
Okay, good. I felt really kind of like, oh, that's really effed up. But
they're getting older, they're getting uglier and uglier every year, though.
Speaking of uglier, there was a tattoo convention across the street from my work this weekend.
Oh boy!
And tattoos are one thing. I got a couple of those. Scarification really freaks me out. And there was a woman with insane scarification on her back. I was like, I hope that's jeez.
I knew a gentleman. He was of a darker complexion, and he couldn't get tattoos because you wouldn't see them. So he got branded instead.
Yeah. Unless it's Terry Funk doing the branding, I don't think you should do that.
I would let Terry Funk brand me, by the way.
You did outside of shows at a table next to the guys with the T-shirts. I still have a fantastic money making idea, which I think is so good. I won't even say it out loud here, but I've always wanted to do it at shows. I think you do it at any show, anywhere, and make $100 easy. $100 easy.
Involved hand jobs?
No. Francine still needs work. I told you I went to a show one time as I was doing ringside filming and then backstage interviews.
Yeah.
And Sandman was there, and he was there early with his table and just sitting by himself. And I was like, oh, like someone buy something or talk to him or something. Damn.
No, just I refuse to. Nope, not gonna happen. Make sure that you read the TT for the CWL And check out the new CWL report. It is fantastic. All right, next up is the IWL number 85 league champion, Graham Underwood, television champion, Marcus the Monster Monroe, New York City champion, Dr. Slam, Los Angeles champion, Bubba Benfenter, Boston champion, Big Blank number 1, Detroit champion, Big Blank number 4, Cleveland champion, NASA's greatest find, which is Uranus, I'm assuming, Dallas champion, Hostile Takeover, Memphis champion, Fortune 500, Aaron McFleece, Miami champion, Piper the Goofball Monroe, San Francisco champion, Kennedy Cage, Chicago champion, TJ Relic. TV Tag Team champions, Piper the Goofball Monroe, the King of the IWL, Ulysses Monroe, and TV Tag Team champions, Fortune 500, Aaron McFleece and Hostile Takeover. Six-man champions winning 5 free matches, Marcus, Piper, and Ulysses Monroe, and the TV six-man champions, Frederick Xavier, Graham Underwood, and Kennedy Cage. Don't forget that Soul Survivor just wrapped up. Dakar Wolof was the winner, winning $22 in IWA credits. We're going to have results for you guys and match recaps. Not write-ups, but recaps this time, guys. We're trying something new. If you guys like the recaps versus the write-ups, please let me know. We'll continue doing it that way.
There you go.
But again, fantastic TT in the IWL. For me, I think the Drunks were my favorite TT of the cycle. Please go back and take a look at that. I thought it was awesome.
There it is.
There it is. I don't think anyone understood the my cover of Post to Post and why it was black. So if you don't understand why it was black, you'll never understand.
I know why.
Go look at some albums.
No, I know why. You're casting out of ink. Screw your printers.
Screw your printers.
Yeah.
Don't forget that the MSG Tag League begins this cycle 86. It's for 16 of the best tag teams and some of the not so good tag teams of the IWL will compete to see who the very best is in the IWL. They will also get 20 free matches or 10 free matches apiece per team. So if you're tag teamed with another person, you guys would split the prize there. You get a shot at IWC Tag Team Championship, so just keep that in mind. So next up is the NWL.
Oh, God.
This is New Wave League number 112, league champion, the wrestler with no name. I'm very happy that he won, by the way. TV champion, Jordan Drake, representing Legion. Atlantic champion, Bruce Inferno. Central champion, The Nightmare Johnny Carnage. Dixie champion, Alabastard. Eastern champion, the Patient Stalker. Mountain champion, the Chameleon. Northern champion, Derek Dark. Pacific champion, Prince Payne. Prairie champion, Timothy Zabapowski. Southern champion, Billy Joe Jim Bob. The Western champion, Unleavened Bread. Really? Tag team champions, Johnny Carnage and Derek Dark. TV tag team champions, Prince Payne and Master Disaster. Six-man champions, Bruce Inferno, Gary Galaxy, and the Bookworm. TV six-man champions, Pastor Payne, Master Disaster, and Bombshell Warrior. Now, Matt, in this issue of the NWL, had probably the world's greatest TT I've seen in a very long time.
Okay.
The Patient Stalker's TT is phenomenal.
I concur. That is some of my favorite I've seen in years. It
blew me away.
And here's the thing, it's not huge either.
No? But it's perfect. That's what it is. Really good. Don't forget that the crossover collision, which is a UNL versus LWL spectacular. It has a special appearance by the NWL, and this will be July 10th of 2018. So what makes this, I don't like inter-league pay-per-views. I think I've made my feelings known on that. But at the very least here, they do champions versus champion matches, but there's a prize attached to these, so there's stakes involved. It's not like you're having these matches and it doesn't really matter, because historically they don't, especially with interleague matches. When they do these pay-per-views that have no prize, there's no contest, there's no anything attached to them. You're just, bragging rights. Well, fuck your bragging rights. These have 10 free matches. 10 free matches. The winner of the champion versus the Underworld champion versus the United Nations champion. Yeah. And then 5 free matches for all the other championships underneath that. So I thought that was really cool and that was really innovative. So nice job, Scott Anderson, on that. So Matt, what's going down IWAR wide?
Well, Johnny B. Cup round 1 is over, but again, I've got to refigure those numbers out.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. There were several matches broken by ties. So the first tiebreaker is activity. The second tiebreaker is battle royal finish for amount of money earned. And there were some really close matchups that went to the tiebreaker. So I always enter the battle royal, because I think in every single instance except one, the other person didn't enter. Like the winner won because the other guy didn't even enter the battle royal.
Right.
So if you're in a tournament, just take a few months and use battle royals, enter them. You're playing for a prize. It's like an extra insurance. The second thing is in the Murano, there was two incidents. One, I double booked a tag team. So what I'm doing
You're
is
the worst.
I'm terrible. I'm going to use some magic to move teams around, mainly because I double booked another team, not booked, but the players' teams in the same round. So I'm going to probably move his losing team over to take that spot because it was unfair to him. I didn't realize he owned the other team. When you have teams called Bones and Stones and whatever, I was like, shit. So I'm going to probably bump his team over and figure that out. The second thing is there is an incident going on where we have a team that's not in the IWAR. They're supposed to come in. They haven't come in yet. That is the Black Wrestlers Matter. They're in the TDL. So the rule is, if you're not in the IWAR, it doesn't count. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward as if they are, but I'm also going to include the other team that they lost to, as well as having the next round match. So basically, they'll both face the same opponent. If the other team isn't in, the team that won before, but they shouldn't have won because of the stipulation, the rule violation, then the team that lost to an illegal team will advance, and if they lose in that round, that's up on them. But again, I told people after last year, we've got a thing where all the teams have to be in the IWAR. It's just how it is. So that makes it easy for us. So if you can't do that, then we have so many people trying to get in these events. So when people just bail on me, like I had several teams that didn't show up that said they were coming. Oh no, we'll be in there. We'll be in there right the cycle it starts. I told them the cycle it starts, and they didn't show up. You're out. Bye. See ya. So it's just one of those things that, we're trying to make things easier for players. So when things like that happen, it's just not fair. The guys that are in the IWAR and are playing to be part of this to get screwed over that way.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So there's that. We didn't mention earlier, but the BRL had the WrestleRama pay-per-view. I think the big news coming out of that was, one big news item of the BRL is that Sinister Steve Stryker is facing the Misfit Messiah in the Best of 7 series.
Oh.
And that is going to be for a shot at the Revolution Championship. So thank you for those players stepping up. There was a lot of good matches. If you can still read them, if it hasn't updated yet. The Women's Battle Royal determined the new Amazon champion, and that was taking care of business. There was also a Women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Match won by Erica Rockwell and Liberty Monroe.
Unbelievable.
So they're the first champions. And the main event was Questionable Motives facing Blood Money. And then the other main event, the double main event, Russian Death Match, which, to be fair, Luther Alexander faced Mike Sebastian, who beat him. But because it was in Japan, it's not an official Russian Death Match. So I claim that Luther Alexander is still undefeated in Russian Death Matches.
They take place in Russia.
Yeah, this one took place in Tokyo. So, I'm sorry, Fukushima, Japan. So he lost a Fukushima Death Match. Logic. And then Questionable Motives lost to Blood Money when Jamie Montgomery passed out to a shoulder injury in the match, and the Blood Money was awarded the win. There's a lot going on. It's a big pay-per-view. Check it out. Other stuff that's going on, and you need to get on top of right away. If you haven't done this yet, you need to email me ASAP. That is the Summer Series event of the summer. And the way this works is you will have each player nominate just one wrestler from their roster to be their representative. You'll be put into a 3-cycle series with one other player, randomly allotted, and then whoever has the higher average over those 3 cycles advances to the 4th round. Then all the wrestlers from those advancements compete and the winner will be the overall best average.
Mm.
And the way it is, it's $5 per entry. So this is serious, not like a $1, $2 thing. But what this does is the prize is going to be either A, you can take the amount in IWA credit, or B, I will use the amount to purchase a championship belt of equal value online. So you can have a nice shiny belt. And not one of the IWA belts. It'll be a separate belt. I'm looking at a couple of different companies.
Why can't someone do a bicycle? I want a bicycle. If the High Rollers League did a prize that included a bicycle, I would probably play in that league. Just saying.
How do they mail that to that person? Did like Johnny B?
I don't ask those kind of questions.
Can you imagine if Johnny B showed up at your house and was like, yeah, hey, I got your bike here. Oh my God, Johnny B. Then he DDTs the guy and kicks him in the crotch.
I have a dream that I want to. I wish I can go back in time and then ride on tandem bicycles with Johnny B. That's a dream that I have.
Nice.
Because I think that'd be glorious. Downtown Willowick. That'd be fantastic.
I've been to downtown Willowick.
I know. I've seen the picture.
Yes. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't say downtown. I saw a very disgusting bathroom at a gas station.
That's right.
And a sign on the side of the road that said Willowick. I actually thought to go through, get someone with a Johnny B shirt and have a picture of him just beating me up. Like, oh my God, Johnny B's.
I'm not going to disparage Ohio because we have a disproportionate amount of players that currently live in Ohio. I don't know why, but they just do.
I know why.
Why?
I think it's because when Johnny B first rolled this game out, it was to his students.
Mm.
And his students, being from there, were the first players. And they told their friends, and their friends lived in Ohio. So then it spread, so you had kind of a core group of Ohioans. And I'd almost gather maybe they advertised locally, but that's just my theory. Who knows if it's true or not?
That's not a theory.
It's up there with the Avril Lavigne conspiracy.
What's the conspiracy with her?
I found this out today. No, that Avril Lavigne died of a drug overdose after her first.
Oh, they replaced her, right?
They replaced her, and the thing is, she was a teenager, so teens change. Could be done.
Like the Ultimate Warrior. Remember
Yeah.
the Ultimate Warrior died and
I sure
came
did.
back?
Yeah.
And it was
He
a
did
different
die.
Ultimate Warrior. Well, he died eventually.
He's dead now.
And then the Renegade shot himself. That was weird.
Did he really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
he committed suicide.
Oops, Kerry Von Erich himself.
Yeah, he sure did.
The other day I thought about what if the Von Erichs, like, if they had all lived and not been like so screwed up.
I don't know. They'd probably be making asses of themselves on Twitter. Like
I'm thinking about like Kevin. Yeah, well, Kevin. But like Kerry, Chris, Mike, all killed themselves, right?
No, David was.
Well, no, David died.
It was mysterious circumstances. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Some people claim that it was a drug overdose and Bruiser Brody flushed all the drugs. Some people say he had a bad reaction to some shellfish or what have you.
Oh.
But everyone else.
Yeah. Oh boy.
And there's always a rumor that Fritz once told Kevin, he was like, "Why don't you just kill yourself? You don't have any guts like your brothers do." It's like, ooh, Fritz, Father of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
One of my favorite tweets was someone after the Mae Young the Fabulous Moolah thing was like, "What's next? The Fritz Von Erich Father of the Year award." Well done, guys. Which, by the way, I want to thank you publicly for doing the Photoshop with the piss jug for the all-in.
Yes.
Which now has over 60 likes.
Nice.
Including twice by Joey Ryan. I want to go to Holland so bad. I've actually decided if I do go, I'm probably going to drive out there.
Well, our good friend Jay Joyce lives in that area. You probably still go over his house.
I could, yeah. I'd be like, Jake, I'm going to crash on your couch. He's like, I don't have a couch. No, that doesn't matter.
All right. All right, guys. We are officially out of time.
Wait, we forgot about the racy hot topic of the night.
Oh, what is that?
The sophomore league.
Do you want to talk about that now? We can talk about that next time.
All right, we'll tease it. Teaser.
So that's gonna be a long thing.
It is.
I got more pay-per-view things to do.
Oh, we can talk about that and then the new leagues thing. So
yeah.
Next time we'll have a huge action-packed hour.
We'll do 2 hours on the next one to make.
Oh God.
We'll go Broadway.
I need 2 5-hour energy drinks for that.
Yeah. We'll start it at 10 o'clock or something.
Live from Saudi Arabia.
Instead of 2 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Matt Riley, I'm Juan Cena.